What's going on, everyone? What's going on?
How's everything in the World Wide Web?
We're back again, internet. We're back again.
We are,
You want us? You got us.
right?
Even if you don't, still.
The
Even if
demand
you
was
don't.
too much. We couldn't resist. We just had to come back.
We
I'll
love the
say in a world
internet.
of in a world of inflation, we're one of the only things that is still free, and there has been no price hike. So,
We,
guys,
we no
we're
monthly
giving
fee. No,
there's
no.
no we're giving you guys the Black Friday, the Christmas, the going out of sale. You guys have the greatest discount, free
Yep.
content.
Mhm.
Free Star Wars
You,
content. No local sports fee.
hey,
Right?
you get us again for free. Thank you.
Great, great. Yeah, yes. Thank you. So, no, guys, great to be back again. Great to be able to discuss another episode of Carbonate Bounty BS with me and the nerds here. For those that are new, which hopefully you're not new, but we do appreciate new people, today is going to be our episode 3 review of this wonderful tale and story we know as the Skeleton Crew. But before we dive into our episode 3 review and some of our talking points, Nerd ID, what you got to find us at?
Nerdcyclopedia.com, people, your favorite website where you will get all your favorite social media platforms and ads. We're at Nerdcyclopedia on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Is it a question mark or is it shut down? And maybe it's shut down at the end of the year or maybe in
Yeah.
January. I don't know. So, um, we're all basically everywhere that you get your social media stuff. If you are listening to us on podcasts, thank you. Make sure that you subscribe to us on all your favorite platforms like iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Odyssey, anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast, we are there. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Smash that subscribe button. Also hit that notification button. So anytime that we're on, you know that we're on. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you as well. Make sure you go to our Nerd Cyclopedia page on Facebook where you catch us, just like you would on YouTube. All right. Um, Leave us some feedback too. As Ken said, we're still free. As T Mitch said, with inflation going on and everything, you can still leave
Bro.
us a message for
And
free. You
and
could
the
leave
word
us a message. You do the work.
well,
We'll
and
read it.
the word subscribe does not mean there's a monthly fee. Just it's not that kind of thing. Just subscribe to us.
Yeah, it's free. It's free.
Still,
Thank you. Thank you.
Those famous last words. It's free.
Yeah, famous last words. We'll see how long that lasts. You
All
know.
right.
Mm.
oh goodness.
But no, guys, like I said, great to be back here. If you guys haven't watched our episode 1 and 2 review, as the show rolled out with 2 episodes, definitely go back and watch that on your favorite playback device, however you want to listen to us, or whatever in the car, or whenever you're cutting grass. If you want to do, if you're snow blowing, it's great to go back in episode 1 and 2. But I will say, rolling into this episode 1 and 2. This has been one of our more unanimous kind of reviews, and this show so far, even with our chat offline, I mean, pretty unanimous as far as our thoughts on this. So, um, Ken, I know you were one of the big proponents of really being positive about the show rolling out. So lead us off with what your thoughts are on your thoughts on episode 3 so far.
So I'm I'm really digging this story. I mean, I think Disney got enough of their little brand or what they want to do in it, and I think it's being dealt with care. I think the people who are working on this show really enjoy the environment that they're playing in. I love this. I love this. The characters, the story is developing nicely. You can't go wrong with pirates. Okay, and Star Wars has always had its its class of pirates and smugglers and bandits, and there was always this huge underlying criminal um, activity going on in Star Wars, and this is pulling on all those heartstrings for me. So what I really enjoy now is the relationship now with um, I don't know his name, John Wood, who's a Jedi.
Yeah.
John Wood. I
Sure.
wonder if there's a play on words there. I've been taking
Yeah.
I've been taking letters and scrambling them to see if there's something hidden in there. I haven't found anything very, nothing clean that we can say on air, but feel like I feel like there's a play on something. I feel like he's channeling like Qui-Gon Jinn, but Qui-Gon Jinn after some gin. Not a very
Some gin.
sober Qui-Gon.
Like juice and gin?
Yeah, like juiced gin. He's using the forces around us, flows through us, but it's kind of what you make of it. And we kind of already said what things were going to look like. Like he ends up being he's the pirate captain, that gets overthrown, thrown in jail, and he's trying to get out, and he's really basically Han Solo. He just wants the prize. He just wants to be paid. He doesn't really care what he's doing. He just wants to be paid. So I dig that. I love the kids. Neil is my favorite. I mean, Neil is. I read a couple things about the creating of character and how they did they used CG, but there's actually a kid, and they decided to have actually a kid voice instead of like some weird alien voice. And I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but that's like what they ended up doing. And I think he emotes really well, and I think I dig him because he reminds me of myself. Like he's not scared, but he's like, oh no, it's a blaster, I'm going to put it down. Oh no, but I'm really cool, I want to look at it. He's interested in things, and I think he's going to be he's going to be something's going to happen because of him, whether it's good or bad. But I like the characters. I like Fern. It's just coming together really well, and I'm kind of like, I'm worried. I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen? Are they going to screw it up? Are they going to do my favorite is when they do a flashback that makes no goddamn sense. Just putting it in there because we wanted to. We wanted to make it we should have been 7 episodes, but we're going to make it 8. Whatever. They just put a throwaway in there. So I hope they don't, but I enjoyed this episode. It's good, really good.
What about you, DP?
Hey, it was good. It was a fair episode. It feels like a movie. I mean, just the way it's just cinematically ran. I'm paying attention to all the shots and how it doesn't look as much as a TV show like The Acolyte did for whatever reason.
Right.
It feels like it was. Whereas you got John Watts, he's a movie director and everything, and he's pretty much a showrunner on this series and everything. He must have had a mandate. We are not making this look like a TV show. We're making it look like a movie. I'm loving the kids. And to the point where, even though Jude Law is, in the picture now, and we're getting to see, what he's about and everything, I think he sort of slows the momentum down to what, as far as like the kids, where it puts so much focus on him and takes the focus off the kids. I got in the groove of learning how these kids are, and learning and seeing the perspective of their wide eyes on them, learning like just the Star Wars stuff. We get a little bit of that during the episode and everything, but when the focus is on Jude, it's sort of like, detracts from, to me, the more interesting characters are the kids of all things, Other than that, it was just funny to see how, they was playing off each other, deciding whether he was a Jedi or not. He's maybe a Force user, but, is he a Jedi? We still don't know, we get to see the X-Wings, them being the good guys, and the kids just not knowing who to what. It's like, who are these guys? Let's shoot them anyway. That was just like crazy. You shoot at the good guys, but they don't know that because they don't even know there's war going on. They don't know that it's called Star Wars.
They don't know what they're on.
Oh man, it's just crazy. But just seeing it through their eyes and them asking the right questions. Well, what is this? And huh? All around, stuff. It's just crazy, just interesting to me. I'm loving the tease of the mysteries and how they just keep that going and everything. And we only get one shot of the parents in the beginning. I was thinking that we were going to come back to them, but I understand. And they'll come into play a little later. We just still need to know that they're still in the picture. But overall, the episode was good to me.
What about you, Hitch?
I'm really enjoying Skeleton Crew, and I think that we're all kind of thinking the same thing, which is this is very different than Acolyte and good. That's a good thing because there's a lot of stuff about Acolyte we didn't like, including the scope, the scale, all that stuff felt very small in Acolyte. And here it feels enormous. This space station is huge. All the consequences of jumping to hyperspace with an attached line, this should happen. It would be like a whip. And the idea that this is causing massive destruction, and Urkel's just standing there going, "Did I do that?" Like it's really all happening, all for us at once on this show. I love it. I love the whole Jod going back for SM-33 and that whole sequence. I love the way they handled it. I love the way how they just smash cut to the chaos of the escape. It's just, like everything's nuts. I really enjoyed that a lot. I think Jude Law is portraying this character with a lot of ambiguity, which is not easy to do. It's not obvious what direction he's going. He's just very charismatic, and I think that's hard to portray. It's hard to imbue somebody with charisma, and that's why I think DP, you say it feels like a movie, right? We don't want it to feel like a TV show. Jude Law's in it. It's not a TV show, right? It's not Jude Law. To quote, the Oscars one year, he's one of our finest actors. He's not just some schlub. So, yes, this has a movie feel. All the effects are excellent. I love all the practical effects that create Neil, whether he's computer animated. I'm interested to know more about that too, because that affects. It's very affecting. He's got the hair part. His parents are so like cute. You know what I mean? He's got like such a nice little home family. So I'm buying the character, buying the story. Man, I'm interested to see where they go with this. It definitely does feel like Treasure Island in space a little bit. And that's a great canvas to write on. Everybody's done a good Treasure Island, even the Muppets.
Right.
You'd think Star Wars should do a good job. I'm glad we're back to the seedy underbelly of the galaxy. I feel like there's just so many interesting colors to paint on that palette. Everything from hut space all the way to spice smuggling, to just straight up, mafiosos. Everything's available at the underworld. So I really enjoyed that. And I'm interested to see how they build the world out from here. Obviously, the mystery of Aten feels not, that's not a red herring or anything, but it's not like the puzzle I have to unravel to care about what happens to these characters. Obviously, it seems like these people are just sitting on a hoard of money, just and keeping it safe from pirates, right? So there's a buried treasure somewhere on this planet. It'll be interesting to see how everything pays off. I enjoyed the owl cat. It was pretty nifty.
Yeah.
Nifty. I like the character design a lot on that, and that was Alia Shawkat who's maybe from Arrested Development for anybody who is not aware of it.
Okay.
She's gonna be on.
Yeah.
So just really neat, expanded the world. You gave and Jod has so many, has so much depth here because we don't know which of these personas is correct, which ones are, is he just a pirate? Was he a Jedi? Does he have some other sort of agenda? Why is he still smarting from that being trickeration from the opening of the season? So I'm really interested in seeing what else there is. And it's been really great so far. Really kind of a breath of fresh air after a couple of series that were underwater just a touch.
So interesting that you said that, Steel City, about like where John's motivation. So do we think he got with these pirates initially to find some? Has he been chasing this hidden treasure for decades, and he just uses the pirate persona as a way to get into that world and search for things, and he's just using the pirates as, you know.
Well, think about it. Like if it's like 6 years after the end of the Empire or something like that, it's like 25 years or something since Order 66. So he's in like his 40s, it seems. So you figure this Star Wars 50s, so he's in his early 20s. So it tracks out from like a Kanan Jarrus type of arc. That all makes sense from a time frame perspective. It's interesting that we're about as far separated from the Clone Wars as they are. You talking about our release timeline and where they are here, but we don't know exactly where they are in the timeline, right? It's sometime after, obviously, the Emperor, but we don't know.
It's 5 years post Return of Jedi.
5 years.
5 years,
Mhm.
which is about 25 from Order 66, Attack of the Clones. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
so
the
that
it's
was-
listed as 9 ABY.
so he could have crossed paths with the Calrissian, you know, Lando and Han at some point. I mean, honestly, right? I mean, they could have been running after the same treasure at some point. I mean, really, his backstory could be pretty entwined in our, you know, the universe we know. I've just been thinking, like, how deep does this guy go? And was he a Jedi? Was he sort of like Ahsoka? Something happened and he dropped out, or Sabine? You know, he was in training. He is Force sensitive, but he just like couldn't hang. Wasn't.
Come on, man. Sabine is not a good. That's not a good reference. Come on, Ken. That's not good.
Well, no, I'm just saying someone that had been in school, and then kind of
She
dropped
really
out.
wasn't.
She didn't follow the plan.
I really,
She learned the Force in one day.
I love this
She learned the
schism
Force in one day, bro.
between the
The Force runs through everyone.
right. There's the
It
Force.
Yeah, I hope we're not doing that this time.
Right. There's the magic blood people, and the everybody can do
The
it.
mud blood.
Yeah. So it's one of those. But this show,
So
this show-
it's a Force thing, an either or type of thing, or whoever believes.
According to the
This-
Jedi
so-
and Obi-Wan and all the Jedi, the Force is an energy field that runs through everybody. It binds the galaxy together. Without it, molecules would be flying off in separate directions and there'd be chaos. So the Force runs through everyone. Some
It
people
depends
hear
on
it
whatever
better than
who's
others.
directing the show. It depends on who's
Oh,
directing the show.
whoever's doing
I'll
it.
leave it at that. I'll leave it at that because we were forgetting about midichlorians. We're forgetting about certain things. It was the whole Michael Jordan and basketball analogy. It depends on which director wants to go with it.
Wow.
I will say Disney's been pretty. They've been pretty
Lenient.
exclusive to this whole like the living Force and kind of that's been kind of Disney's approach, but the Lucas approach is more of like a gene type. So yeah, it was more like everybody has ability to play basketball, but there is a certain specific type that'll be able to elevate to that superstardom level. As to where this is like, well, everybody can be it if you like hone in. So yeah, this is more of like inclusive kind of thought of the Force.
I mean, I
Lucas
love the way the
idea, I
kids
thought
joke.
was
I
more-
love the way the
yeah.
kids joked about that, though. They
Right.
question. It's like, okay,
Exactly.
well, the thing
Making
the
it float.
boy went
She's
by.
like, string. She had it all figured out. She saw
She
right
had it
through
all
it.
figured out.
Right.
She is so Han Solo, man. I love her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Fern is just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the dynamic of the show, and I'll say this as we go into our topics, right? Regardless of what anybody says, man, I can say this wholeheartedly for Disney and not necessarily Star Wars. If Disney knows how to do one thing, it's how to tell a children's story. Like, I'll give them that. I mean, this is, whether it's Walt, whoever the case may be, through all their years, Disney can tell a children's story. So this is really, to me, like Disney's bread and butter. When we talk about like these like Lion King reboots and all this, regardless of what you think, bro, and if you like this, if you like the reboots, whatever, it can tell a good damn story when it revolves around younger actors, young characters. It's just, to me, like it might not be my cup of tea. as far as like, the content. But man, if you see the numbers, I mean, this is their bread and butter. And I like how they're sprinkling, as we talked about it, this 80s nostalgia. But not only that, they're pulling on my purse strings, right? We're getting Old Republic. It's the Easter eggs are like, they kind of like hit you with there's some Jawas in there, like, Ewok, like there's a
Yeah,
little
the
bit of everything. Like,
Jawas.
I'm like, I mean, this is, and I don't know as far as a director how big of a Star Wars fan he is, but I can appreciate the little details they're doing to make it feel like, like I said, this is with this being 5 years of post Return of the Jedi, it will make sense to see him, right? This is that time frame, so just sprinkling that stuff in, to me, I mean, it just made the show so cool. So no, I'm very excited for this. But yeah, you're right. I think DP is on it, and that's kind of a talking point. Like, I do like Jude Law's character. I think he's kind of growing into it, but I don't know necessarily if he is the right character for this show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I don't know if that would fit in because it's a different time frame. But to me, like the Lost Jedi, it would be better for me personally if I had like Cal Kestis was it, because I can see Cameron Monaghan a little more diverse as far as like mixing in with them. You know what I mean? Based on his roles, I think that because you're right, he's a great actor, but their energy is so like this, and then he's like, and I don't know
So
if that's the
he's,
way they
he's
wrote
he,
his character. He's just like
yeah,
so
yeah,
tempered. You know what I mean? Like he's a
right.
little too tempered to where like it's fun and there's all this stuff, and he just kind of like he's like mellow. You know what I mean? And I just think like it
I
kind of
think
messes up the flow of the energy of the
I think
show.
that's
I mean, isn't that
I
the
think that's
point?
by design.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
but
Exactly.
the way it comes across, at least to me, it sort of slowed the pace down
It does.
with
It
the
does.
kids.
That's what I feel like too.
I was loving the energy of the kids, and then Jude came in, and like I said, while he's fine and everything, and maybe like T Mitch said,
Right.
we have to see more of him to get used to it and everything. Maybe it just gets better as far as that. I mean, he wasn't bad by far or whatever. It was
Right.
just a slowdown of pace when he came on the scene.
Well, he kind of had to because the escape with the ship. I mean, he came in. He has the experience. He's done all this. He's probably like lived through this exact situation before. He put Fern and Wim in the laser turrets. He knew those were their strengths, and he knew that they could do that. He showed them how to do it, and he left. And he had other things to do. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I see what you guys are saying about he kind of like he pulls in their energy and he harnesses them in a little bit. I don't know that it really slows the story down, but it gives the team purpose. Because I think if it was just the kids, if it was just for them, and let's say it just stayed with SM-33, and he was the elder leader, let's say, maybe not leader, but maybe just the one with the experience, and they were kind of looking to him. I don't think we'd have quite the same energetic story. I think having John in there gives some balance to everything, and I think they play off each other really well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think kind of like the DP's point though. Like when you mix, it's very, very tricky. It's very tricky and it's extremely difficult to mix in an adult actor with a bunch of kids and make it make sense. And they're doing a good job so far of it. But like he said, it's just not, and it's not a negative. It's maybe being a little nitpicky. But to me, like I said, I would have liked the character maybe being a little younger, maybe like a Cameron Monaghan, or maybe somebody brand new that like has a little more. And like I said, he can do that. But you know what I mean? It's just like you said. Maybe it's nitpicky and it's not a negative thing, but it just slows. It's a little bit. It's a little off. Like when they introduced Sloth in the Goonies, right? It's just a different personality that kind of like. The kids are it's so vibrant, and then somebody is more mellow. And even though, because he's an adult, I get he's more mature. I would just, I mean, to me, this is so upbeat and energetic that it's kind, I mean, it kind of like is, like it's almost like an adult, like a dad, you know what I mean? Type that, like, hey, kid, slow down, like, you know what I mean? It's a little too, for me, a little too mellow when I'm like really energetic about the show, and I just think the energy is so high in it. But like I said, I don't think it's an acting issue. I just think it's how they wrote the character for him.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, and I was thinking the exact opposite. in the beginning, okay, where's Jude Law? You know, let me give you some Jude Law in the first 2 episodes, at least the first episode or whatever. They got me with these kids. The kids got personality. You know, they got character. They wrote some really good stuff. I'm loving Neil. You know, Neil's the guy. And Han Solo girl, Fern, she just give off those vibes, you know. And although I'm not, you know, privy to Wim, you know, I like the fact that, you know, he's still, you know, real stubborn and well, not stubborn would be the way you call it. He's real bullheaded, you know.
Correct.
I just love the way they wrote the characters, and now we're actually in this episode, we're getting a little bit more of KB, you know, a little bit more of her personality, you know, her being suspicious, her asking more questions and everything, you know. So I'm liking that. So just like I said, the energy of the kids is awesome. Bringing the Owl, you know, character in, that was pretty interesting, you know, and we haven't really seen that in any of these Star Wars shows. We haven't seen any outside of humans characters really play a big part, you know, interacting with, like, you know, the human characters. So to see this is sort of like a big thing for this, you know, that we've seen in the movies and stuff. I don't even know if we've really seen it a ton in like the sequel trilogy. But I know we've seen a lot of it.
That was Maz Kanata, but she wasn't necessarily an owl, but it's similar thing, kind of like an oracle type. You remember with the lightsaber, with the glasses. So
yeah. You're right. Lupita,
Nwang
yeah, she played her.
Nwanga,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, I do. You're right. I do like how they switch it up, and yeah, you're right. We see an owl. I thought it was like a Jedi when I saw the robe and stuff. I was like, an owl Jedi, like that's kind of cool. But
yeah, and I kept looking at their. She's wearing, like, it looks almost imperial, like a tunic with a belt.
When you saw the little,
I mean, it's almost.
I was trying to see the symbol
like
on the necktie, right?
Yeah, so there's some and there's some reason like she got super angry all of a sudden. Like once she started to like put things together and these kids are now a key to this forbidden planet, this hidden planet. She got really angry, especially with those, and we're assuming that those X-Wing pilots, they're police. We're assuming they're the good guys, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that we can really. Yeah, I don't know that we can really say that they're on the good side of things like we are thinking of X-Wing pilots.
Right.
Because
any reason why we should suspect otherwise? Because I wasn't getting those vibes.
Just because they were, well, maybe they're and they may be conflicted because the pilot that actually was he had a damaged chip. He was like, it's too risky with the kids, but he didn't want to shoot the ship with the kids because he didn't want to hurt the kids, or he didn't want to eliminate them so they couldn't find this planet for whatever purpose. We need to know what its point is. What's the great work, and why was it hidden? Why did the Jedi, the original Jedi Council that we all adore, why did they decide to hide these? What is it? 8 planets, 10 planets. 10 planets. Yeah. Why? And why is this the
original 8 Jedi?
Yeah. Why were the other planets destroyed by the Empire, but this one wasn't?
Well, so the thing is, it's a weird story because in this time frame as well, this is so when you get to Old Republic, you're talking about like Darth Bane. I mean, there are so many stories. So, I mean, like if you go through the novels, and I don't know if they went this deep into it, but like this star system. So it's essentially like a wordplay on the unknown regions, right? There's not a clear map there. You have to go this way to go this way. It's now we find out hidden by like a nitric gas. It's almost like a mist or a fog. So it might be somewhere in plain sight, but you can't see it because of gas. So it's one of those things that there's a map that is maybe the treasure, right? So the treasure is the planet in this treasure hunt, and now we're looking for the meat and the potatoes of the story is the map, right? whether it be KB in her mind, because I don't know if she's half cyborg, half person, but they're saying somebody is the children are the key, right? So one of the kids,
and the owl character is related to KB somehow because they both have the same appliance. So Kim was like, "You can call me anytime you need to."
Which is going to be the owl person before the season gets to find the planet. So as they figure out home, this is when she contacts them, and probably that's where the big the climax hits when somebody gets kidnapped her.
It's a mad world, right? Once you know where the treasure is, I mean, it's just a race to the treasure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just a mad dash for those sweet shiny Gold Republic credits that are, I guess
is that what it is? Is it that superficial? Are we talking about just a bunch of money, or are we talking about something else?
Well, imagine if you 15 years ago you bought 15 Bitcoins for $1, right? And they're worth 100 grand a piece now, right? If I showed up at Domino's Pizza and tried to pay for a pizza with a Bitcoin, I'm sure all the people would be like, "Yeah, sure, all right, that seems fair. You know what? Don't even worry about the change or a tip. See you later, bub." Right? That's kind of what they do. And then they would follow me home and shank me and find. This made more sense to me than anything else that's happened in Star Wars in a long time. Was these pirates? And I just love the CDM belly of the galaxy far from away. Everything there's and Han Solo is my favorite guy in Star Wars, so it makes sense that I would be a fan of this. And I think they're doing it right. And it's no coincidence that my favorite Clone Wars stories were the ones with Hondo in them, and that band of pirates. I don't know. Maybe it's just a pirate's life for me, guys. Yo ho!
All right.
And isn't that something that Disney does well? I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean.
They do.
That's
hey, FYI, Johnny Depp is on the way back. He has his first draft of a script.
Of course he is. Yeah, there
Captain
you go.
Jack is on his
way. He's a
moneymaker.
Hey, Chris Evans, Robert Downey, Johnny Depp.
Back on the screen.
We just put the band back together.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to talk about that on our other show, guys, because
sudden nostalgia for the late 20-teens that we are experiencing as a society as we trauma process the COVID pandemic is not healthy, and we need to do something about it before it really destroys us. And we start.
Oh boy. Oh my God! Yeah, well, we might have to talk about that on another podcast.
We're gonna have to for sure.
This late nostalgia.
Nah, I mean this, but yeah, go ahead, Ken, because I want to talk about that one main talking point we want to discuss too as well on this.
So the opening of the episode, we saw the parents. We saw the parents of the kids, and we've all talked about like, oh, we love the kid. The kids are great. Well, the kids have been torn from their families. And I think each family's reacting a little bit differently. Like Fern's mom is pissed. Like she's just pissed.
Super pissed. Right.
She's not sad or she's not worried. She's not worried. She knows Fern can take care of herself. She's pissed because Fern has now broken a big rule. And her mom is an admin. Her mom is administration. Wim's dad, and I think we've all said like worst dad in history. Okay, well, we don't know exactly what got him where he's at. Nobody starts out like this. Okay,
hey, just to pause that. Han Solo's up there as well. He got stabbed by his own son, did he not?
Well, yeah, and that was
come on now. He's up.
He's stabbed by his own. Come on.
Luke has a pretty bad too.
Never in Star Wars does a son attack their father. That just doesn't happen.
No, not at all.
Nobody does that. That doesn't happen. So Wim's dad, Wendell, maybe he's mad about that. I don't know.
Mr. Wendell, for the old schools out there.
Yeah.
Hey, Arrested Development. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that we'll be getting a bottle episode with just the parents at some point during this thing,
and trying to talk to the supervisor. Like they keep talking about the supervisor, and would does the supervisor term actually mean someone that can do anything at all?
I'm not sure. Yeah,
like that doesn't sound like. I would go to like not a manager either. I would go to like a bureaucrat. I'd go to some higher up, like an analyst or something.
This big problem for these because it's like, I mean, 3 Body Problem came out earlier this year, and once you alert the universe that there's resources available for the taking, you know, someone eventually takes you up on that offer, and these guys are basically a smog level hoard of gold, effectively, right? Like I said, bitcoins that just have never, you know, just have accrued value over time, and they've been outside of the economic system for like 500 years, and they've stumbled. I mean, it's just going to be destabilizing. But I want to talk about why these droids on this planet, on this planet have just enormous camera faces. Like, there's no way they need this much frontage for a camera, right? It's got to be on purpose.
The security droids, their whole head is a giant camera, isn't it?
What movie is that from? They had the droids with like that camera. There was a sci-fi movie that they had those in. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. I don't know if they turned evil or something, but those camera droids like remind me of something. Like they were in a sci-fi movie. It wasn't like
they look like they took a pit droid and like kind of jazzed it up a little bit. Like it is just a giant lens, and it's definitely for observation, surveillance, and like security. Like these security droids mean business. Like you don't mess with them. They're the bottom line. And just so the scene with the parents, like they don't really get any answers, and they're fighting it. It's typical. It's typical. Like you're trying to protect your kids, and you can't because like the school board has made up rules that just don't jive. I mean, there's a lot. That scene interested me because, I mean, overall, the parents were very concerned and nothing was being done. There was absolutely nothing that could be done to help these kids. They're gone. They left the barrier. Forget it.
Nothing that they could, put something on. I'm trying to figure out what could they really do. I mean, they got shipped off to in space in a hyperdrive, and bam, they're gone. What else could they? What else could they really do?
We're going to see what Wendell comes up with.
Well, yeah. I mean, is it early in the process? And as far as it's still early. The game is still early and everything. So we get to see the parents arguing and all that stuff. So that's a natural progression into so it's next episode we're going to see the parents again, maybe in the middle or towards the end of the episode, actually getting some answers. And then, like I said, maybe some, episode 5 or 6, we get like a bottle episode on exactly what the work is, what these assessments are, who's the supervisor, or, we may get another tease about that. And in the meantime, we're still trying to find out, follow these kids on and their clues on getting back home and stuff, Yeah,
because that would be very disturbing to me, as a parent, if my kid was just gone. Like, I mean,
it's played, but that's such an 80s thing, it's played for laughs and stuff, like, all cute and fine and everything. But the 2024,
it's bad. It's bad. It's not a playground that you can there's not a lot of sand. It's a lot of like broken glass that you're playing with here. They need to, that's a check that needs to be paid off somehow. Like we need to have a plan. They had
no devices with them, nothing to track them or anything like that. Just and the only evidence that they had is the dad knew it was a ship, that went off. So how do they track the ship, or what was the ship? So we still need to get some questions answered from the parents on the parents' end on what the dad told, I guess the droids and stuff on, how can we get answers on what this thing was that took our kids, away and everything. And like you, and what goes back to what you were saying, Ken, it seems like nothing is getting done. You know, we're not hearing answers, at least from on the audience end on what exactly is getting done with these and trying to track down these kids and stuff. You know, so we need to find out a little bit more about that, which will sort of, to me, like, you know, get a little bit more into like the mystery or answering some stuff as far as the mystery. Do we think this is sustainable for multiple seasons, or will this just be, you know, 8 episodes, and are we supposed to find out what's happening at the end? I mean, I don't want to be, if this is going to be dragged on, I don't want to be left with like some massive cliffhanger and then Disney decides, okay, they're going to do an Acolyte.
I think
I don't think it's going to happen.
This could be like a Rogue One thing, where we get the story and it's just beginning and end.
I don't know. I mean, that's right. Like, it's hard because when you talk about these type of stories, and then you go back to, like I said, this harping on the Goonies, whatever. That was like an hour, 40-minute movie. Like, so yeah, how long can we sustain? Because these are about 40 minutes each, right? So we're already now basically a movie length in the 3 episodes. How far after can you drag this? But it really becomes is, you know, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but like when these 8-episode runs happen, we've all said it. It's either 4 or 5. Did everything go like it's a shit episode? It's due. So, like, you know what I mean? We're due for one, and it's not against the show. So, whoever the director is, I forget his name. I apologize. It's not your fault, but we just know 4 or 5, it's going to be shit.
And that's usually a Disney thing. If you're outside of the Disney, like, you know, barrier or whatever, 5 or 6, 4, 5, and 6, those are the good episodes. That's when it starts getting good. Disney does the exact opposite for whatever reason.
They start out real good and then they throw a clunker in there, and then they hope that you stick around after that.
Hope that you stick around. Yeah, we got them on the
back end.
You know.
No clunker, and we see you stick. So that's my new thing. And maybe Disney can pay me several $1 million to implement that strategy. I'm here, Disney.
No clunkers.
No clunkers. But so yeah, so sustainability and everything. And number 2, kids growing up. So this should not be a series like an Andor where we're seeing like 3 years later, you know, season 2 comes out and the kids are just like, you know.
Yeah. So you're saying no Stranger Things, right? We don't want.
No, please no.
That would be terrible.
Stranger Things is stretched out to like.
Bro, she was started at what, 12, and now she's 23. She's married now.
Yeah, she's married. She's been to college. And...
She's married to Bobby's kid, right?
Yeah. How does it? I mean, it's crazy. So
we can't have it. So 2 seasons max with this type of story. I think, you know, with this, I don't see them because I think the show is good. I think it's doing good. I think, you know, this is something that Disney will want to continue, but I don't see it continuing past, like, you know, 2 seasons or whatever with the way that they're going. Like I said, it's 3 episodes. It could be more the mystery that ends up taking over the show versus like the kids, you know, where we're just finding. And another thing I'm not sure if I really want is the show to turn dark, you know, where we get like the light stuff on the outside, but, you know, these kids start finding out things that are really like, you know, they start finding out the real stuff, you know, the real Star Wars stuff. And they're just like, you know, what is a great work really, you know, up to? Like some Severance type stuff, right, Hitch?
Right.
What if the treasure wasn't like actually credits or money? What if it was like cloning technology or something that
I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
So what would be something that would be like, no, that's no, we don't like that. If it's like part of
to be honest, you're right. I think anything that ties us into the Mandoverse or the sequel trilogy would be an automatic turnoff for me. Because this is supposed to be like a, you know what I mean? Like a lighthearted. I'm cool with the whole pirate, the credits thing. Because think about it, it makes sense. This is 5 years post Return of the Jedi. The Empire is in shambles. And so think about it, like the Republic is being rebuilt. it would make sense. Nobody has money. Right? Who chases money? Pirates. So if somebody has basically like they attack the central, the treasury, right? Somebody breaks in the treasury after anarchy, and you have the means to have all the funds. You control the money. What they're looking at this planet is, oh my gosh, this is an old Republic planet. They have all these credits, their mined or whatever, all this gold or whatever they're used to make this. You essentially, Pikes, the syndicates, the Huts. If you get this amount of money, you literally control the galaxy, right? And then if you're thinking about it, who else would this? The Empire, the First Order, they want to call it. They get a hold of that. That funds the new First Order, whatever they want to call it, this period. So this planet might be key to really who holds the power in the galaxy. So I kind of like
Ron finds out about this.
Windfalls dropping on democratic governments are not always a good thing. The first democratic government's going to do is rip each other to shreds to figure out who gets control over the spend. And then that a lot of times turns negative to bad. So it could be a real issue there. It happened in the ancient Roman Republic. There was a kingdom called Pontus, and the monarch in his willed the whole kingdom to the Roman people, and that's essentially what happened. They fought each other tooth and nail to try to figure out who was going to benefit from this enormous influx of wealth. And you'd imagine that a state that spends that just like falls ass backward into like, I don't know, like 10 times its annual budget, right? It's like the United States government. Oh well, we just found $20 trillion worth of gold reserves, so we're good to go. We're just gonna throw out whatever we want to spend on. The government would lose their mind. They would lose their mind. They could be spending like drunken sailors, which is also what the democratic man does in Plato's microcosm of political society. So the democratic man can't decide what he wants. He wants everything, spends all his money, and goes bankrupt. So
why would you need to build a society to protect this? Why would you need to farm a civilization to protect money? Like,
it's
who cares?
Right? So
put a guy in front of it with a gun, and then he tell him, "Hey, anyone comes to this safe, shoot them."
It's almost like
So are we sure it's a planet?
I think it's the planet. I think there's something about this rock is important, and important enough that the Jedi Council hid it very strategically, and along with a couple other planets that are all gone now. So this is it. Whatever they were protecting or hiding, that's it. It's here.
Is that if that was part of that map that we seen, like the planets and the ones that were like hidden? Okay.
Because Kim said the other ones are gone. This is the only one left, and she has obviously been part of a species or whatever that has been searching for this, and now all of a sudden, here's the key. Here's the arrow that's been shot, and all you have to do is follow the arrow. And that's it. Right. Now we know. So it just can't be money. I mean, who cares? Anyone can make a bunch of money.
You're right. There's something, but I mean, well, think about it. She doesn't have to place a tracker on the ship she has in KB now, right? So she basically has a free tracking device. So now she's linked
an organic
to
tracker.
The planet. Yes. She has an organic tracking device. So she'll just manipulate her into getting the coordinates whenever it's time to, hey, we need to part ways. She's already put the doubt in. He's not who you think, you can't trust him. So she's already placed the doubt, which creates like a natural tracker for herself. So obviously she knows about this planet. And the weird part is, you're right. It's almost like the Jedi mystery at this point. This planet's like a mystery. They know about it, and the wrong people know more about this planet than the right people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the pirates want to know. She wants to know. Everybody has their own methods, but for the most part, the general public has no idea what this planet is. So all these different factions want to know about the planet, but you know what I mean? That creates like the mystery. And like I said, it becomes at the end of the series like a rat race to the planet almost. Like
It's
almost like space race, right?
I'll draw something from Indiana Jones, Last Crusade, the Holy Grail. It was this search. The Nazis were looking for it. Everyone was looking for it. Everyone thought it was like worth a bunch of money. No, it wasn't. It was just this very simple thing. And in the end, it all got destroyed anyway. It all got lost and because it was too dangerous for people to have. So
God,
right.
Nazis try to take something, God's just gonna go yoink.
Yep.
Oh, Ark of the Covenant. Yoink.
Yoink.
Yeah.
Also yoink.
Yoink. Yeah, yoink all the skin
Yeah.
right in your face. Yoink. Yoink. Oh,
Cloning,
Yeah, no.
cloning technology. Yoink.
there could be cloning technology, cure for all diseases, artificial general intelligence, stuff that would be worth it. That's technological and based, or item based, right? Like there's an asteroid that has so much platinum in it that it's worth like $1,000 trillion or some insanely huge amount of money. And if we basically grabbed it and put it and like just had it crash somewhere on Earth, wherever that was would be the richest place on Earth.
It's kind of like that's the idea. You just saw the idea of Captain America: Civil War, right? Because that's Tiamat and he has adamantium. So we, ladies and gentlemen, just found out the whole plot of Captain America: Civil War in a matter of 30 seconds here. That's what it is.
How good
You heard it here, folks.
Shout out to Hitch. Hitch has just gave you guys the full spoiler of Captain America: Greatest Brave World or whatever I think it's called. Yeah, that one, the new one. So.
Oh, the Brave New World. Yeah.
New World, yeah. Well, sorry guys if we spoiled it for you, but that's it. No, man. Like I said, I'm excited for this. Obviously, the next week's episode 4, is our halfway point. So, fingers crossed.
Already.
Hopefully, we keep the momentum. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I said, I wish we were able to get this dropped into 4 and 4, maybe, or easier a way for us to break it down for you guys. But yeah, we're at the midway point. Hopefully, the momentum stays on. But like I said, between 4 and 5, there's a clanger coming up. So if it is, we'll be here to break it down for you guys. We know a clanger is coming.
No.
I hope not.
Let's not put it in. Let's not speak it into existence.
Okay. Yeah.
No clangers. No clangers.
Errors, man.
Right. Yeah, we'll let it happen organically, just like this show's been running. But no, guys.
Get clunked on this show.
But so far we're 3 for 3. And like I said, everybody's happy about this. It's refreshing. Another great story. And yeah, like I said, we can't wait to respond to our mid-season finale already, which is crazy. We talk about it. But no, guys, another great week, and can't wait to come back next week and discuss this. So until next week, guys, this is Away.
This is
the way.